These general methods of estimating shape from some cue, shading, texture, focus, etc. For a long time, that was a big deal in computer vision. It was called shape from X, sort of very popular in the late 70s, early 80s, which I know is prehistoric history for most of you. But the fundamental idea was that from an image and from some assumption about the nature of the world, like that those houses are all the same, and therefore they're probably getting further away, the brain could compute depth, and we wanted to build machines that could do that as well. But we, and a lot of other creatures, have two eyes. So that we call stereo. And in stereo, the key is that the image from one eye is just a little bit different than the image from the other eye. Here I see the right side of Megan's nose, and here I see the straight part of Megan's nose. Megan's nose is pretty straight. Mine's crooked. Anyway. So you can think of stereo as recovering the shape from the motion that's between the two different views. And the idea is to infer that 3D shape. Before talking about exactly how to do that, people have been looking at this ability of the human brain to do this for a long time. And in fact, one of the cool things that showed up was stereo photography. So Charles Wheatstone, back in the early 1800s, invented the first stereo viewer, all right, where you would take two pictures and then put them through lenses so that each eye saw a slightly different picture. All right, so what you've got here is this wooden thing that prevents the image in the left eye from being seen by the right, and likewise the image in the right eye from being seen by the left. And there are these lenses here that essentially train the eye right on the image that's right in front of them. People were fascinated by this. So here's a picture of Abraham Lincoln taken in 3D. So we went from 1838 to 1860. So just 20 some odd years, and already you're doing 3D portraits of the President of the United States. So it became a really compelling thing for people to see, because you take this flat thing and all of a sudden you would see depth. Here's a stereo pair of Thomas Edison, most famous inventor of his age, it says, probably true. And you could view that through a stereo viewer. Or you could do something really cool. You could make what was called anaglyph stereo. And anaglyph stereo put down sort of red and blue imagery. And what that did was, imagine if you're looking at a white piece of paper through a blue filter. Well, everything's blue. It throws away all the light except the blue, and the white has blue in it. So if you put blue stuff on there, it doesn't change anything. So basically it becomes invisible. Whereas you put a red filter in it, the blue looks very dark. Likewise, you put the red image, it becomes invisible to the red filter. And so anaglyph stereo became popular for a little while in cheap three-dimensional movies. There's a picture of those stereo viewers. And this is a great picture because it's a stereo image of kids looking at stereo pairs in the library. And this is in the early 1920s. And the thing to realize is it gave you a certain sense of realism. So people used to use it to experience faraway places and things that they couldn't see otherwise with a reality that they don't get when they just look at an image. So for example, here's this picture of this bridge in India. So all of a sudden you could feel like you were in India, which was different than just looking at a static picture. And when I grew up, lots of us had these ViewMaster discs. Okay, where you would put the discs into the little viewer and you would slide it down and you would see the two different things. And you know, you got educational stuff. So when I was a kid, they landed on the moon and they made stereo photographs of men on the moon, which is really cool, talking about someplace you couldn't go. Or much more importantly, you could get Spider-Man, which is really good. And of course, if we had the internet then, we would have known that you could have ordered stereo porn, but we didn't know that at the time. Now you guys, you get three-dimensional television. So for you, this is hardly new and compelling at all. But it's basically the same principle of making sure that two different images are shown to each of the eyes.